Hello, it's Guy Arnold again here, author of Great or Poor and Go the Extra Inch and Fab or Drab and all sorts of bits and pieces. Today we're going to talk about, I can't remember what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why it is that this idea of customer service, which in most people's mind is common sense, is so often not common practice. What is it that goes wrong and how do we resolve that? Because that's the key to it. Everyone knows what customer service is. It's common sense. The problem is that people don't do it for a variety of reasons, and we're going to look at what those reasons are and try and start finding ways to resolve them. And that is what the Great or Poor system is. It looks at those issues and helps you resolve them through a systematic approach. Remember, this isn't a quick fix, and remember this material is copyright to us. You can use it under license. Licenses aren't expensive, but please don't use it out of license. Okay, so on our last video we talked about the winners, people like Amazon, McDonald's, Google, people like that. Who are the winners? Why do they win? And the answer is systems. They systemize everything so that the customer gets a consistent experience which they can rely on. Okay? Now, I'm not advocating a McDonald's approach to customer service. Have a nice day now. What I'm advocating is systemizing the whole of your organization to ensure your customer gets a consistent experience, and then within that system empower your people to deliver that. Your people need to be empowered, but they can only be empowered if they have a system to help them. Now, customer experience is so important, isn't it? Because it's getting more and more important by the day. You know, your customer is now empowered via the internet, via social media, via feedback sites, and that's just going to get more and more and more. It's not going away. It's going to get more. The customers get more and more empowered. And on top of that, there's worldwide competition that's getting more and more each day, and people are being much more choosy. There's less money to spend with the current recession, but also the people have access to so much more stuff than they ever had. So they're going to be much more choosy and want more for their dollar. It's pretty straightforward. It's going to happen. It's just getting more and more and more. So you, in order to succeed, have got to be smarter. What worked in the past will not work in the future. What worked in the past will not work in the future. Your customer is now empowered. The customer is now king. The 21st century is truly the age of the empowered customer. So all of this stuff, customer service, we know customer service is blindingly obvious common sense. The key question is, why isn't it common practice? Now, I think there are probably 4 or 5 real critical reasons for that. Okay, number one is command and control. We come from a background, particularly in the West, of a command and control environment, whereby in the industrial age people valued, the high value things were machines, and people weren't valued in the same way as machines were. And if ever I go into an organisation, I say to them, well, can you tell me what your organisational structure looked like? They'll draw me something which looks a bit like a triangle, okay? And who's at the top? Well, the head person's at the top, head honcho, etc., etc., etc. Who's at the bottom? The people doing the interaction with the customers. And of course, where are the customers? Well, the customers are even off this chart. They're not even on the chart. Now, we all know a picture speaks 1,000 words. So what 1,000 words is this picture speaking? This picture is speaking the words that the business is there for the enrichment of the top people, and the customers are there to be exploited in order to achieve that. That is the traditional Western way of doing business. We can see it's happened. We see around us, you know, the distress and the terrible consequences of that. But it needn't be that way. There is another way. And all you need to do is turn that triangle upside down. Now your customers are the most important people in the business. The person, the managing director, whatever you want to call them, they are now there to guide and support the people dealing with the customers. Pretty simple stuff. The other good thing is that by doing that, your people in the front line now have to be empowered. Their role isn't to be just do as I'm told. I just work here. Their role has got to be to listen brilliantly to the customers, to be empowered, and to tell their managers what they need in order to help them serve the customers better. And this will produce fantastic empowerment and motivation within your business. So that's number one, turn the triangle upside down. Secondly, popularity of myths. I love this as my particular thing. There's so many myths on customer service. We've done a video on this already. But you know, the myths are, go the extra mile. No, don't go the extra mile. It's marketing bollocks. The extra mile is too far, it's annoying, it's inconsistent, and it just annoys everybody. Please, please, please don't go the extra mile. Customer service. Customer service is irrelevant. Customer experience is what matters. Your customer will act on their experience, not on your service. Okay? Customer feedback surveys, another cracker. Customer feedback surveys. We all know as customers they are bloody awful. We hate customer feedback surveys, but there are some small systematic customer feedback systems that are used ongoing and effectively to make your customer feel valued and listened to, and helps you actually deliver great service. Now, the system obviously I would recommend is the Great or Poor system. This book tells you all about it, but it's a systematic approach to doing this. Backward accounting, another great one. You know, the accounting system we use in the world today is nuts, okay? Machines, if you have a company and you invest in a nice new machine, it's an investment and your company is now worth more money, and anything that any depreciation is reclaimable against tax. Fantastic. Okay. However, if you spend money on developing your people, training your people, listening to your customers, working with people effectively, that's a cost. And all businesses want to make investments and reduce costs. That's why so little attention is paid to customer service. It's a cost. And the reason why costs aren't wanted in business is because businesses have the fourth reason, unbalanced measures. Now, what do most businesses measure effectively? They measure money. Now, what is money? Money is simply a measure of shekels or grains of wheat or whatever. Money is just a measure. It's nothing. Money doesn't exist. It's just a measure. It's a measure of energy that you can use to do something else. And it's a very, very important measure. But if you think that money is the most important thing in any business, that's like saying, you know, the body, the human body. Yes, we need blood. The human body needs blood and air to survive. But blood and air are not the purpose of life. So your business needs money to survive, of course it does, but it is not the purpose of your business, okay? If you do your business well, the money should follow, not the other way around, okay? Now I suggest the other measure that should balance the money measure out, this all-powerful money measure that makes people act in a short-term way, reduces great problems, the great credit crunches and crashes and all sorts of ridiculous, stupid things that people do. All of that stuff can be avoided by having another balancing measure. And of course, my suggestion is the Great or Poor measure. It's a simple measure, it's 3 questions, and it's simple and clear and effective. And it also helps you build business by re-engaging a customer. Like, you have to, I'm afraid, buy the book to find out about that. And lastly, I'd say one of the key things that stops us happening is back to front sales processes. Now, if I drew you a diagram of the sales process, it would start off with marketing here, and then selling here, and then service delivery here, and then marketing, selling, delivery, marketing, selling, delivery, marketing, selling, delivery. And the one thing that always very, very often gets left out because it's expensive to do and it doesn't produce any immediate results is after sales. That's a key thing for customer service, the after sales. Now, this is the traditional 20th century way. Market, sales, serve, after sales if you can be bothered and can afford it. Market, sales, service, after sales if you can be bothered and can afford it. Well, that's great. That worked for about 200 years and fantastic. Got us where we are now, which is completely bankrupt. Fantastic. What we've got to do is we've got to change that around. It's pretty simple. We've got to just go to after sales first. Listen to the customer. Listen to what they want. Value the customer. Engage with the customer. Then you design your products around what they want and what's really going to drive your business forward. Using your expertise. Don't listen to everything they want. Remember Ford's famous quote, if I asked people what they want, they would have said faster horses. So listen to your customer, engage with your customer, then develop your sales processes and delivery processes, and then look at your marketing, and you can save at least 50% of your marketing. You probably can cut out 50% of it. It's mainly a waste of money. It's going to become more of a waste of money as the customer becomes more empowered. Your marketing's got to be severely targeted, and the good thing is, you know, through social media and through the web, you can do that much better. I'm not a marketing expert, but I know that most people waste most of their money on marketing, and that's just a crime. It's a total waste of money, and it means that you can't spend that money developing your people and engaging with your customers, and that's what you have to do. So what are you going to do? How are you going to use this information? Sign up on our website for our free weekly tips. No spam. Please do that. If you do nothing else, do that. Sign up on the website for free weekly tips. There's also stuff you can purchase there. We can do these customer surveys for you. You can license our material. We can do workshops. We can engage with you. We have people all around the world who can help you out with this stuff, who are all licensed to use it. And of course, you can always buy the book on Amazon or on my website, whichever you prefer. Thank you very much for watching. Hope it's been valuable.